We have spent 4 sessions building the architecture of a conversation. We have designed the perfect greeting. We have engineered the active listening process. We have constructed protocols for conflict, and we have mapped the terrain of the outbound call. Now we arrive at the final stage, the landing. In aviation, the takeoff is optional, but the landing is mandatory. The same is true for a business call. You can have a brilliant conversation. You can build immense rapport, and you can solve every problem on the line. But if you fumble the ending, you destroy the value you just created. Psychologists call this the recency effect. The human brain has a bias for the last thing experienced. If the call ends awkwardly, or if the next steps are vague, the client remembers the confusion, not the solution. A bad ending introduces entropy. It introduces disorder into a system that should be orderly. Today, we are going to learn how to stick the landing. We will discuss the summary, the exit strategy, the email handshake, and how to leave the door open without letting in the draft. Let us begin with the summary. The greatest enemy of business is misalignment. You think you agreed to X. The client thinks you agreed to Y. 3 days later, you deliver X, and the client is angry. This happens because human memory is fluid. We hear what we want to hear. To prevent this, you must never hang up without a verbal contract. This is the summary. Before you say goodbye, you must pause the conversation and review the tape. Do not say, "Okay, sounds good. Talk soon." That is not a summary. That is a wish. Instead, say, "Just to make sure we are on the same page, let me recap our next steps." Then list them explicitly. Say, "I am going to send you the updated proposal by 5 p.m. today. You are going to review the budget with your team on Thursday, and we will reconvene next Monday at 10 a.m. to make a final decision." Does that sound right? Analyze that structure. First, you stated your obligation. I will send the proposal. Second, you stated their obligation. You will review the budget. Third, you stated the shared obligation. We will meet on Monday. And finally, you asked for confirmation. Does that sound right? When they say yes, the concrete has set. They have verbally committed to the plan. If they fail to review the budget, they are breaking a promise they just made. If you fail to send a proposal, you are breaking a promise you just made. This creates accountability. It turns a casual chat into a professional workflow. Once the summary is complete, you must execute the exit. This is where many people struggle. The conversation is over, but nobody knows how to hang up. There is an awkward silence. Someone says, "So, yeah." Someone else says, "Okay then." This is the long goodbye. It is painful. It drains the energy from the call. You must be the one to cut the cord, but you must do it with grace. The best way to signal the end of a call is to respect their time. Use the time check technique. Say, "I know how busy your schedule is, so I will let you get back to your day." Or say, "I want to be respectful of your time, so I will let you go now." This is a powerful psychological move. You are ending the call, but you are framing it as a favor to them. You are the benevolent guardian of their productivity. It allows you to hang up without being rude. It signals that the transaction is complete. But the interaction does not end when you click the disconnect button. The moment the call ends, the half-life of memory begins. The details start to fade. The clarity you just established begins to degrade. You must stop this decay with the email handshake. The email handshake is a written summary sent immediately after the call, ideally within 15 minutes. This is not just a polite thank you note. This is a documentation of reality. The subject line should be clear. Subject: recap of our call regarding Project Alpha. The body of the email should mirror the verbal contract you just made. It should say, "Hi John, great speaking with you just now. As discussed, here are the action items. 1. I will send the proposal. 2. You will review the budget. 3. Our next meeting is Monday at 10 a.m. Why is this so critical? First, it proves you are organized. It shows you are a professional who takes the work seriously. Second, it creates a paper trail. If 2 weeks from now, the client says, "I never agreed to review the budget," you can forward this email. It protects you. Third, it triggers action. When the client sees the email, it reminds them to actually do the work. It moves the task from their short-term memory to their to-do list. Do not wait until the next day. By then, the emotional momentum of the call is gone. Strike while the iron is hot. Finally, we must discuss how to leave the door open. There is a tendency in business to overpromise at the end of a call. We want to be helpful, so we say things we do not mean. We say, call me anytime. We say, if you need anything at all, just holler. Do not say this unless you mean it. If you tell a client to call you anytime, they might call you on Sunday night. If you tell them to ask for anything, they might ask for things outside the scope of your contract. You want to be accessible, but you must maintain boundaries. Instead of call me anytime, say, if you have any critical questions before our next meeting, please send me an email. This directs them to a specific channel that you can control. Instead of if you need anything, say, if any parameters change on your end, let me know so we can adjust the plan. This is professional. It invites necessary communication but discourages trivial interruptions. It is also important to end on a positive, forward-looking note. Do not just say goodbye. Say, I look forward to seeing the results of your review. Or say, I am excited to get this project moving next week. This plants a seed of optimism. It leaves the client feeling good about the future of the relationship. Let us bring it all together. The perfect closing is a four-step sequence. Step 1. The summary. You recap the who, the what, and the when. You get a verbal yes. Step 2. The exit. You use the time check to signal the end. You frame the disconnect as a respect for their schedule. Step 3. The email handshake. You codify the conversation in writing immediately. You create the single source of truth. Step 4. The future pace. You set boundaries for future communication and express optimism for the next step. If you do these four things, you are no longer just talking. You are operating. You are driving the business forward with every interaction. You are eliminating confusion. You are building trust through consistency. This concludes our 5-part series on mastering the business call. We have traveled a long way. We started with the mindset of the professional. We learned to listen not just to words, but to meaning. We learned to de-escalate anger and navigate the friction of the hold button. We learned to bypass gatekeepers and leave voicemails that convert. And finally, we learned to close the loop and solidify our work. Communication is the interface between your mind and the world. If the interface is buggy, your ideas will fail. If the interface is clean, efficient, and empathetic, your ideas will flourish. You now have the code to upgrade that interface. The phone is ringing. It is time to get to work. Thank you for listening.